Okay, so example number 1, we're identifying the coefficients, constants, and variables in these expressions. Okay, gotta reset. Okay, so coefficient, I'm looking at the number that goes along with the variable. And I look here and I go, there isn't one, right? Well, there actually is. It's that invisible one that we never put there. So the coefficient for this x is 1. The constant is 3, and the variable is the letter, so that's x, because it varies. So right here, my coefficient, it coexists with the variable, so my coefficient is 1/2. My constant is -7, because it's like doing plus a -7. Okay, and my variable is b. Okay, so over here, my coefficient is next to the variable, it's 1.53. Now, I don't have a constant, so that's the answer. I mean, it could be that there's none, or you could put that there's a 0 there. Either one is fine. Okay, my variable is w. It's not w squared. Squaring is what I'm doing to the variable, okay? But my variable is just w. Okay, so what I would like you to do is try it. So let me erase this really quick, and I want you to pause the video and try this one and see how you do. Okay. Good. I'm sure you all paused it, and I'm sure you all did this, right? Okay. So coefficients for this one. What we've got here, we actually have 2 terms with different variables. So we actually have 2 coefficients. We have our nice little invisible one right here, and we have 4. Our constant, there isn't one, right? So it's either none or 0. And our variable, we have 2. So we have y and x. Okay, coefficient here, 0.67. My constant is -9. And my variable is b. Okay, and over here, coefficient is 4/5. My constant, I don't have one, again, so it's none or 0. Okay, and my variable is not m6 to the 6th, it's just m. All right, let's go on to the next example. This is what they're talking about when they're talking about the verbal part of the lesson. So it says, write a mathematical expression to represent the following. And these can get just a little bit tricky, but they're pretty straightforward. And this is when you really got to know what a sum is, a difference, the product, and a quotient. So 16 more than a number. Whenever it says a number, this is when they're talking about your x value or your y value. You could put a q in there, whatever. And it's 16 more than that. So I've got x plus 16 for that one. Okay, 8 less than a number. Now these are the ones that get a little confusing. It's 8 less than a number, so it means I'm taking 8 away from it. So I've got my number, and I'm taking 8 away. Don't be confused by putting the 8 first, because 8 minus x is really different than x minus 8, unless we're taking the absolute value, which we're not. Okay, so it's 8 less than a number. Okay, the sum of the product of a number squared and 5 and 7. Okay, that sounds really confusing. So let's just look at it and break it down a little bit. So we know it's the sum of 2 different things. So it's the sum of the first part, the product of a number squared and 5, and the second part is 7. So we know the second part's 7. This next part is the product of a number squared and 5. And since it's a product, they're being multiplied. So this is 5x squared plus 7. All right, here we have the quotient. So I know it's going to be dividing. The quotient of 10 less than a number and the square of another number. So here's my two parts. 10 less than a number, I'm taking that 10 away, so x minus 10, and the square of another number. Well, I can't use x again, I need to use a different one. So I'll choose y, and I need to square it. Okay, so I would like you to try these two. So go ahead, let me get out of the way and go ahead and pause. And I'll be starting another video here. But pause and try this.